10 ways to build wealth, even if you're starting from zero. Welcome back to Thinking Lab, where we blend science, ancient wisdom, stoicism, biblical insight, and savage real-life truth to help you build a life that is wealthy, beautiful, and deeply aligned. Today, we're breaking down 10 ways to build wealth. Not someday, not when you feel ready, but starting now. Because wealth isn't just money. Wealth is options, peace, health, beauty, and power. Let's get started. 1. Wealth begins in the mind. Stoic principle. You become what you repeatedly think. Science. Your brain literally rewires based on your dominant thoughts. If you think like a broke person, you will stay broke. If you think like a wealthy woman, your decisions shift. Why it works. 1. The brain is a wealth generator. Neuroscience shows your thoughts literally sculpt your brain. Every time you visualize abundance, discipline, or success, your neural pathways strengthen around those patterns. You're not manifesting. You're training your brain to recognize opportunity faster. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. That's ancient neuroscience in one sentence. 2. Identity drives. Action. You don't act rich because you have money. You act rich because you see yourself as someone worthy of wealth. When your identity shifts, your habits follow. You stop saying, "I can't afford that," and start asking, "How can I create that?" Stoic principle. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Translation. Wealth starts when your mind stops chasing and starts creating. 3. Identity drives action. You don't act rich because you have money. You act rich because you see yourself as someone worthy of wealth. When your identity shifts, your habits follow. You stop saying, "I can't afford that," and start asking, "How can I create that?" Stoic principle. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Translation. Wealth starts when your mind stops chasing and starts creating. 4. Emotional regulation equals financial stability. Most people don't have money problems, they have emotional problems that cost money. Impulse buying, fear-based decisions, and self-sabotage come from unmanaged emotions. When your mind is calm, your money decisions become strategic. Biblical echo. The prudent see danger and take refuge. Translation. Emotional intelligence is financial intelligence. 5. Thought to habit. To wealth. Every wealthy person's journey begins with a thought that became a habit. The mind plants the seed, discipline waters it, time grows it. Wealth is not a miracle, it's a mental ecosystem. Summary. Wealth begins in the mind because your thoughts are the architects of your reality, and your habits are the builders. Picture this. You're at Target. You came for toothpaste. You leave with $187 worth of vibes. Then you cry in the car because you're so tired of being broke. Wealth starts when you stop emotionally shopping your way out of boredom. 2. Pay yourself first. Biblical insight. A wise person stores up choice food and olive oil. Translation. Save before you spend. Most people pay bills, buy things, and save whatever is left. Wealthy people save first, then live on the rest. Why it works. 1. It reverses the broke person formula. Most people live by get paid, pay bills, buy stuff, save what's left. Translation. Nothing's left. Wealthy people flip the formula. Get paid, save, invest, live on the rest. It's not about how much you earn, It's about how much you keep. Savage truth. If you don't pay yourself first, you're working for everyone else's dreams, not your own. 2. It builds financial muscle memory. Every time you transfer money to savings or investments before spending, you're training your brain to prioritize future you over impulsive you. Science-backed. The brain releases dopamine when you act in alignment with long-term goals. Saving becomes a reward loop, not a punishment. 3. It creates wealth momentum. When you pay yourself first, your money starts working before you do. Even small amounts compound over time. That's math, not magic. Biblical insight. A wise person stores up choice food and olive oil. Translation. Saving is sacred. It's stewardship, not scarcity. 4. It shifts identity from consumer to creator. You stop seeing money as something to spend and start seeing it as something to build with. That shift changes everything. Your confidence, your decisions, your peace. Stoic principle. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you pay yourself first, you're saying, I want freedom more than things. 5. It protects you from emotional spending. When your savings are automated, your emotions can't hijack your wallet. You can't accidentally spend what's already protected. Savage truth. Broke isn't always a lack of money. It's a lack of boundaries. Summary. Paying yourself first works because it rewires your brain to prioritize freedom over impulse, turning discipline into wealth and self-respect into dividends. Picture this. You get paid. You swear you'll save. Then Starbucks, DoorDash, and Amazon jump you like a gang. Automatic transfers save you from you. 3. Build skills that pay. Ancient wisdom. A person skilled in their work will stand before kings. Your income is not capped. Your skills are. Learn skills that increase your value, such as communication, sales, digital tools, leadership, creativity, problem solving. Why it works. 1. Skills. Increase your value, not your hours. Most people try to earn more by working longer. Wealthy people earn more by working smarter, because they've built skills that multiply their value. A skill is a money machine. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't depend on luck. When your value rises, your income follows. 2. Skills break the income ceiling. Your job title doesn't determine your income. Your skill set does. People stay stuck financially because they rely on the same job, the same tasks, the same abilities, the same comfort zone. But when you build new skills, you unlock new opportunities, industries, income streams, levels of confidence. Skills are the key that open doors you didn't even know existed. 3. Skills compound like money. Every new skill makes the next one easier to learn. This creates a compound effect. Communication to leadership, to negotiation, to higher pay, creativity, to digital tools, to content, to monetization, organization, to systems, to efficiency, to more time to earn. Skills stack, and stacked skills create unstoppable earning power. 4. Skills make you recession-proof. Jobs can disappear, industries can collapse, economies can shift. But skills? Skills travel with you. Skills protect you. Skills make you adaptable. A skilled woman is never truly unemployed. She simply pivots. 5. Skills turn you from consumer to creator. Consumers buy, creators build. When you have skills, You stop waiting for opportunities and start producing them. You become the person who solves problems, creates value, attracts clients, negotiates confidently, earns more because she can. Skills give you the power to create income on demand. 6. Skills build identity. Identity builds wealth. When you learn new skills, you stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes to earn more and start seeing yourself as someone who deserves to earn more. That identity shift changes how you speak, how you show up, what you tolerate, what you charge, what you believe is possible. Wealth follows identity, and identity follows skill. Summary: building skills works because it increases your value, expands your opportunities, and transforms you into a woman who can create income instead of waiting for it. Picture this. You're mad your job pays you $18 per hour, but you haven't learned anything new since 2017. Wealthy women are lifelong students. 4. Live below your emotional threshold. Not live below your means. Live below your emotions. Most financial problems come from emotional spending such as stress, boredom, loneliness, comparison, and I deserve it. Why it works. 1. Emotional regulation protects your money. When your emotions spike, your brain shifts into survival mode. Survival mode doesn't care about savings, investing, or discipline. It cares about relief. Living below your emotional threshold keeps you in logic mode, not panic mode. Logic mode builds wealth. Panic mode destroys it. 2. It breaks the cycle of the emotional spending. Emotional spending is a loop. Feel bad to buy something to feel better, to feel guilty, to repeat. When you stay below your emotional threshold, you interrupt the loop. You stop using money as a coping mechanism and start using it as a tool for freedom. 3. It creates space between feeling and action. Stoicism teaches you don't have to react to everything you feel. Living below your emotional threshold gives you that space, the pause where wisdom lives. That pause is where you choose. Discipline over impulse, long-term gain over short-term relief, wealth over chaos. That pause is where wealth is built. 4. It strengthens your identity as a disciplined woman. Every time you regulate instead of react, you reinforce a new identity. I am a woman who stays in control. Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Results build wealth. This works because emotional mastery becomes financial mastery. 5. It keeps you out of the chaos premium. People who live above their emotional threshold pay a hidden tax, namely late fees, impulse buys, rush decisions, crisis spending, retail therapy, burnout purchases. I deserve this, splurges. Living below your emotional threshold eliminates the chaos premium. You stop paying for emotional turbulence. Summary. It works because emotional regulation keeps you in control of your decisions, your habits, and your money, turning calm into a wealth-building superpower. Picture this. You're sad. You buy a candle. You're stressed. You buy a candle. You're happy. You buy a candle. Sis, you don't need another candle. You need emotional regulation. 5. Build multiple streams of income. Science. Diversification reduces risk. Bible. Divide your portion into 7, even 8. One income is too close to 0. Start small, such as freelance, digital products, consulting, content creation, investing, rentals, reselling, skills-based services. Why it works. 1. One income is too close to zero. Relying on a single paycheck is like standing on one leg. The moment life pushes you, you fall. Multiple streams give you stability, security, and options. When one stream slows down, another keeps flowing. That's not luck. That's strategy. Savage truth. If one person or one company controls your income, they also control your peace. 2. It reduces financial anxiety. When you have more than one way to earn, your nervous system relaxes. You stop living in survival mode. You stop panicking every time something unexpected happens. Your brain performs better when it's not drowning in fear. More streams equals more calm equals better decisions. 3. It turns your skills into assets. Every income stream is a skill monetized, such as good writing, teaching, consulting, creating, designing, organizing, problem solving. You stop being just an employee and start being a portfolio of value. This works because you're no longer trading time for money, you're trading skills for opportunity. 4. It creates compounding growth. One income stream pays your bills. A second pays your debt. A third funds your investments. A fourth builds your freedom. Each stream accelerates the others. This is how ordinary people become wealthy, not through one big break, but through stacked streams. 5. It makes you recession-proof. Economies shift. Industries collapse. Companies downsize. But a woman with multiple income streams, she adapts, she pivots, she survives, she thrives. You're no longer dependent on the economy. The economy becomes dependent on your skills. 6. It expands your identity. When you build multiple streams, you stop seeing yourself as someone who needs a job and start seeing yourself as someone who creates value. Identity shift equals income shift. You become more confident, more resourceful, more creative, more disciplined, more powerful. Wealth follows women who expand. 7. It gives you freedom, not just money. Multiple streams buy you time, choices, boundaries, rest, leverage, dignity. You stop asking, "Oh, can I afford this?" and start asking, "Does this align with my future?" That's wealth. Summary. It works because multiple income streams give you stability, confidence, and compounding growth, turning your skills into assets and your life into a wealth-building ecosystem. Picture this. Your job fires you. Your bank account has $42. Your soul leaves your body. Multiple streams equals multiple safety nets. 6. Invest early, even if it's small. Science. Compound interest is the closest thing to magic. Stoicism. Focus on what you can control, your habits. $50 a week invested beats $500 a month when I finally get my life together. Why it works. 1. Time does the heavy lifting. Most people think wealth comes from big money. It doesn't. It comes from time. When you invest early, even tiny amounts, you give your money decades to grow. That growth compounds on itself like a snowball rolling downhill. Small plus early beats, big plus late every single time. You're not investing money, you're investing time. 2. Compound interest rewards. Consistency, not perfection. Compound interest doesn't care if you start with $5 or $500. It only cares that you start. Every dollar you invest earns money. Then that money earns money. Then that money earns money. It's the closest thing to magic the financial world has. 3. Early investing builds the habit before life gets loud. If you wait until you have more money, you never will. Life expands to fill your income. Bills, kids, emergencies, lifestyle creep, emotional spending. Investing early works because it builds the habit before life gets complicated. Discipline is easier when you start small. 4. Small investments. Remove fear and build confidence. Starting small removes the pressure. You learn how investing works without risking much. You get comfortable with the process. You build confidence. Confidence leads to consistency. Consistency leads to wealth. This is how ordinary women become extraordinary investors. 5. Early investing shifts your identity. When you invest, even tiny amounts, you stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes to be wealthy and start seeing yourself as someone who builds wealth. Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Investing early works because it transforms who you believe you are. 6. It protects you from inflation and future stress. Money sitting in a bank loses value over time. Money invested grows over time. Investing early works because it puts your money on offense, not defense. You're not just keeping up, you're getting ahead. Summary. Investing early works because time multiplies even the smallest amounts, turning consistency, not cash, into long-term wealth. Picture this. You say you'll invest next month. Next month becomes 2027. Your money is aging like milk, not wine. Start now. 7. Protect your energy and environment. Wealthy people guard their environment like a fortress. Your circle influences your spending habits, ambition, discipline, standards. Why it works. 1. Your environment programs your mind. You don't rise to your goals. You rise to the quality of your environment. Your surroundings shape your thoughts, your habits, your standards, and your emotional baseline. If your environment is chaotic, draining, or low vibration, your mind becomes the same. If your environment is intentional, calm, and growth-oriented, your mind expands. Energy is contagious. Environment is destiny. 2. Your nervous system can't build wealth in survival mode. When you're surrounded by noise, drama, clutter, or draining people, your nervous system stays activated. An activated nervous system can't do the following: plan, save, invest, think long-term, make strategic decisions. Protecting your energy works because it keeps you out of survival mode and in creation mode. 3. You become what you're exposed to. If you're around people who complain, you'll complain. If you're around people who create, you'll create. If you're around people who spend emotionally, you'll spend emotionally. If you're around people who build wealth, you'll build wealth. Your environment is a mirror and a forecast. 4. Energy leaks. Are wealth leaks? Every draining conversation, every toxic relationship, every cluttered space, every chaotic routine steals energy you could be using to build skills, create income, invest wisely, think clearly, rest deeply, grow intentionally. Protecting your energy works because it stops the leaks that keep you financially and emotionally exhausted. 5. Boundaries create space for growth. When you protect your energy, you naturally would do the following: say no more, choose better, move slower, think clearer, act with intention. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. They keep out what drains you and make room for what builds you. 6. A clean environment creates a clean mind. Clutter isn't just physical, it's psychological. A chaotic environment increases stress hormones and decreases focus. A clean, intentional environment lowers anxiety, increases clarity, boosts productivity, supports discipline. This works because your external world shapes your internal world. 7. Protecting your energy elevates your identity. When you guard your peace, you send a message to yourself. I am a woman whose energy is valuable. Identity shifts to behavior shifts to wealth shifts. You stop tolerating chaos. You stop entertaining distractions. You stop giving access to people who haven't earned it. You become a woman who protects her power and therefore multiplies it. Summary. It works because protecting your energy and environment preserves your clarity, strengthens your identity, and frees your mind to build wealth instead of fighting chaos. Picture this. You're trying to save. Your friends say, let's go out. You spend $120 on drinks you didn't even enjoy. Your environment is either a ladder or a trap. 8. Master the art of saying no. Stoic discipline, self-control is wealth. Biblical insight. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Wealthy women say no to drama, impulse spending, low-value people, low-value habits, low-value opportunities. Why it works. 1. No protects your most valuable asset, your energy. Every yes costs you something. Time, focus, emotional bandwidth, mental clarity. Most people stay overwhelmed, not because they have too much to do, but because they don't know how to stop giving themselves away. Saying no works because it protects the energy you need to build wealth, peace, and purpose. 2. No is a self-respect signal to your brain. When you say yes, out of guilt, fear, or pressure, your brain learns, my needs don't matter. When you say no with clarity, your brain learns, my boundaries matter. That identity shift changes everything. Your confidence, your standards, your relationships, your money. 3. No filters out chaos. People who can't say no end up surrounded by takers, drama, emotional vampires, time wasters, energy leaks. Saying no works because it acts as a filter. It removes what drains you and makes space for what builds you. 4. No creates the space you need to grow. You can't build a new life on top of an overcommitted one. You need space to think, rest, create, plan, invest, learn, evolve. Saying no works because it gives you the room to become the woman you're trying to be. 5. No strengthens your emotional discipline. Most people say yes because they can't tolerate the discomfort of disappointing others. But emotional discomfort is temporary. Self-betrayal is expensive. Saying no works because it trains your nervous system to handle discomfort, and that emotional strength spills into every area of your life. 6. No raises your value. Scarcity increases value. When you stop being endlessly available, people treat you differently. More respect, more consideration, more appreciation, more intentionality. Your yes becomes meaningful because it's no longer automatic. 7. No aligns your life with your future, not your past. Every no to distractions is a yes to your goals. Every no to old patterns is a yes to your evolution. Every no to chaos is a yes to clarity. Saying no works because it aligns your daily choices with your highest identity. Summary. It works because mastering no protects your energy, elevates your identity, and creates the space required for wealth, peace, and self-respect to grow. Picture this. You say yes to everything. Your money is gone. Your energy is gone. Your peace is gone. No is a wealth-building strategy. 9. Build systems, not motivation. Motivation is cute. Systems build wealth. Systems like automatic savings, meal prepping, budgeting apps, calendar blocking, weekly money check-ins, unsubscribing from temptation emails. Why it works. 1. Motivation is a mood. Systems are a strategy. Motivation is unreliable. It disappears when you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or bored. Systems don't care how you feel. They run anyway. This works because it removes your emotions from the equation. You don't need to feel like it. You just follow the system. 2. Systems reduce. Decision fatigue. Every decision you make drains mental energy. When you rely on motivation, you're constantly negotiating with yourself. Should I do it now? Should I wait? Do I feel ready? Maybe later. Systems eliminate the negotiation. You don't think, you execute. Less thinking equals more doing. 3. Systems create consistency, not chaos. Motivation gives you bursts of effort. Systems give you patterns. Patterns create habits. Habits create results. Consistency beats intensity every time. This works because systems turn discipline into a rhythm instead of a battle. 4. Systems protect you from your future self. Your future self will be tired, be stressed, want comfort, want shortcuts, want excuses. A system protects you from the version of you that wants to quit. It's self-defense for your goals. 5. Systems make success predictable. Motivation is emotional. Systems are mathematical. If you follow a system long enough, the outcome becomes inevitable, such as save automatically turns into wealth grows. Create weekly turns into skills grow. Invest monthly turns into portfolio grows, and when you train daily, your strength grows. Systems turn success from a wish into a formula. 6. Systems build identity through repetition. Every time you follow your system, you reinforce a new identity. I am a disciplined woman. Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. This works because systems shape who you become, not just what you do. 7. Systems survive. When motivation dies. Motivation is loud but short-lived. Systems are quiet but long-lasting. When life gets hard, motivation collapses. Systems carry you through. This is why disciplined women win, not because they're motivated, but because they're structured. Summary. It works because systems remove emotion, reduce friction, and create consistent action, turning discipline into something automatic instead of something you chase. Picture this. You're motivated to save. Then Zara drops a new collection. Your motivation dies instantly. Systems protect you from your impulses. 10. Become a woman of value. Wealth is attracted to value. Ancient wisdom. When you become better, you attract better. Increase your value by doing the following: reading, learning, healing, improving your communication, elevating your standards, taking care of your health, mastering your emotions, becoming reliable, becoming disciplined, Why it works. 1. Value attracts what chasing never will. When you become a woman of value, you stop chasing opportunities, relationships, and validation. You attract them. People, money, and respect naturally gravitate toward women who carry themselves with depth, discipline, and self-respect. Value is magnetic. Chasing is repellent. This works because the world responds to who you are, not what you beg for. 2. Value creates standards. Standards create outcomes. A woman of value doesn't tolerate chaos, crumbs, or confusion. Her standards filter her life for her. She doesn't need to fight for respect. Her boundaries do the talking. This works because high standards eliminate low-quality experiences before they even reach you. 3. Value is built on skills, character, and identity. Beauty fades, hype fades, attention fades, but value, real value, is built on emotional intelligence, discipline, self-awareness, integrity, wisdom, competence, purpose. These qualities compound over time. They make you unstoppable. 4. Value makes you recession-proof in life and love. A woman of value can rebuild, pivot, adapt, negotiate, walk away, start over. She is not dependent on circumstances or people to feel whole. This works because value gives you internal stability, not external dependency. 5. Value changes the way you see yourself. When you become a woman of value, you stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start asking, "Is this aligned with who I am becoming?" Your identity shifts from insecurity to sovereignty, and identity is the engine of every decision you make. This works because self-worth is the foundation of self-discipline. 6. Value commands respect without demanding it. A woman of value doesn't need to raise her voice, over-explain, or prove herself. Her presence communicates, "I know who I am," and people respond accordingly. Respect is not requested, it is recognized. 7. Value makes you a creator, not a consumer. A woman of value builds the following: skills, boundaries, wealth, peace, purpose, and legacy. She is not defined by what she buys, but by what she creates. This works because creation is power. Consumption is dependency. Summary. It works because becoming a woman of value transforms your identity, elevates your standards, and turns you into the kind of woman who attracts the life she once thought she had to chase. Picture this. You want millionaire results with $0 habits, $0 discipline, and $0 consistency. Value attracts value. Which part hit you the hardest? And what's one wealth habit you're committing to starting today? Be honest. The woman you're becoming is watching. We've reached our closing. If this episode enlightened you, if you are ready to understand and elevate your mind, hit the subscribe button. Like and share this to a friend or a family who needs an upgrade. Wealth is not luck. Wealth is not magic. Wealth is not for other people. Wealth is a daily identity. You build wealth when you practice these behaviors. Think differently, act intentionally, choose discipline, protect your peace, invest early, grow your skills, elevate your standards, and stop living life on emotional autopilot. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are one decision away from a completely different financial future. Remember that wealth is built in the mind, protected by discipline, and multiplied by wisdom. Thank you for stopping by at our Thinking Lab, where we just don't glow from the inside and out, but we grow beautifully. Until next time, I'm Athena, and this is Thinking Lab. Think deeper. Live better.